Okay, good morning, all of you. I hope my screen is visible to you as well as my voice is audible to you. If any problem is there, let me know.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, your voice is a bit low. Can you
Now,
increase your
now,
sound?
now, is there any problem?
No, sir. It is okay.
Now it's okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So, let us start our today's discussion on important 3 points. That is history of entrepreneurship in India. Second point, corporate entrepreneurship. That is intrapreneurship and social entrepreneur. So these three things we have to discuss today. Before that, we'll see how many things we have seen in last lecture. We have started our unit number 1 last lecture. We had discussion on content, how much content we have to discuss in this particular unit. Then we have seen assignment questions which are important for your ISC. Then we have seen the title of chapter, that is introduction to entrepreneurship. We have seen what is the meaning of entrepreneur, what is the meaning of businessman, what is the particular difference between two, right? And we have seen the actual meaning of entrepreneur, so which was derived from French verb, that is entrepreneur. That discussion we have seen, and words history also we have seen last lecture. Then we have seen central idea of this particular unit. Then we have seen why this particular unit is important for you, that also we had discussed. Then we have seen specific outcomes of this particular unit, and then we started discussion on first bit, that is concept of entrepreneur. So with the help of these 9 pointers, we had discussion on concept of entrepreneur, and we have discussed various definitions of various philosopher, right? So around 11 definitions we have seen regarding entrepreneur, and then concept of entrepreneurship we have various definitions also of various philosopher. I think this much discussion we have made, and one more small bit that we have discussed, that is significance of growth of entrepreneurial activity. Why entrepreneurial activity is important. So with the help of these 9-10 pointers, we had a discussion on it, right? And I think we were at this point, C point, that is evolution of entrepreneurship or history of entrepreneurship. आता आपल्याला आज बघायचं आहे. सो हिस्ट्री, what was the background of this particular entrepreneurship, especially in India. Okay, so we are not worrying about other rest world. So we are discussing about the history of entrepreneurship in India, that we have to discuss. Second bit we have to discuss, that is a corporate entrepreneurship, that is entrepreneurship, and then third bit social entrepreneurship. So these three things we will discuss today in this particular session. While discussion of this particular history, I want to divide this particular point into two parts. I want to tell history of entrepreneurship, but in two parts. First part is entrepreneurship before independence and after independence, or during pre-independence or after independence. स्वातंत्र्यपूर्व, स्वातंत्र्याच्या नंतर. So in that two section, I want to explain this particular history. So history is little interesting. So you may be knowing like Harappan and Mohenjo-daro, these handicrafts in history, maybe in 10th or 7th, 10th, around that particular subject you have seen that particular history. Around before Christ 2500 in the excavation of Harappan and Mohenjo-daro, there are so many handicrafts people found. So many handicrafts, हाताने बनवलेल्या वस्तू भरपूर त्या उत्खननामध्ये आपल्याला दिसल्या. सो दॅट हिस्ट्री यू नो. व्हॉट वॉज द कन्क्लुजन फ्रॉम दॅट पर्टिक्युलर हिस्ट्री. हे इतिहासामध्ये सापडलं, आपल्याला उत्खननामध्ये ते सापडलं. इट्स टू लॉंग, राईट? बिफोर क्राइस्ट 2500, सो इट्स टू अगो. व्हॉट इज द मिनिंग ऑफ दिस पर्टिक्युलर सेंटेन्स? We found the handicraft. What is the meaning of handicraft? आपण म्हणतो हाताने बनवलेल्या वस्तू. ओके, कौशल्य, हाताचे कौशल्य वापरून बनवलेल्या वस्तू वगैरे असं म्हणतो आपण. That time machines were not there. Obviously, electricity was not there. People prepared metal components, metal statues, metal pots. That things they found in that particular excavation. Its meaning is that people were having skills. They were innovative. They were having interest in preparing the various components. Means what? Entrepreneurship was there at that time. That is the conclusion. Means entrepreneurship is not a new concept. It's too old. Our ancient people already worked on it. And like people were used to exchange the things. If somebody is having a good component, money was not there. How they exchange? They exchange with whatever they need. Suppose you prepared one pot, somebody will prepare another pot. You have to exchange. Like that, exchange was there. So this is one of the important sentence. Then why we are struggling nowadays to make the entrepreneur? Already entrepreneurs were there in India, and now we are struggling like people should become an entrepreneur. We are giving training to entrepreneur. Then what is the problem? Why this particular thing started vanishing? Actually, friends, a royal patronage was the one of the concept. Kings were used to give to various people. क्राफ्ट्समन वर येतात. क्राफ्ट्समन म्हणजे कारागीर वगैरे म्हणतो, हाताने बनवणाऱ्या वस्तू करणारे कारागीर, त्यांना क्राफ्ट्समन म्हणतो आपण. अँड रॉयल पॅट्रोनेज मीन्स व्हॉट? राजाश्रय. विच काइंड ऑफ राजाश्रय? रॉयल पॅट्रोनेज, maybe in terms of money, in terms of some support, various facilities. So you may heard in various stories like kings were helping the various craftsmen in the form of royal patronage. And that's why that time entrepreneurship was there. That's why people were used to develop certain products with the help of their skills. Royal patronage was there. But maybe around 18th century, this prestigious handicrafts, Indian handicrafts start decline. What is the reason? These are the reason. Let us discuss. First thing, actually around 18th century, right? British people started coming here. And what they started? They started promoting their products. And our kings also stopped giving this kind of royal patronage to various craftsmen. And if that royal patronage is not there, that's why there is a disappearance of these various skills. Disappearance of royal patronage, disappearance of these various handicrafts. आपण बघतो का आता दिसतात का कुठं हाताने बनवणारी? एव्हरीबडी इज युजिंग मशिनरी अँड ऑल दिस. कुठेतरी पितळाच्या मूर्ती बनवणारे थोडेफार लोक आपल्याला दिसतात. व्हेरी फ्यू those who are carried that particular skill. Also, British people started neglecting to our Indian goods. They started neglecting. What they told to our people, your product is not of good quality. आपल्याकडे पितळाची भांडी होती, तांब्याची भांडी होती, नंतर अल्युमिनियमची जर्मन ते अशी भांडी आली पांढऱ्या कलरची. कुणी आणली ती? ब्रिटिश पीपल. अँड डेफिनेटली दीज आर नॉट ऑफ गुड क्वालिटी. दिस copper and our this brass these pots were good, but they started neglecting our product. And it is true, and Indian people accepted their products. Also, they started giving asking heavy duty on Indian crafts. Heavy duty. If you want to export somewhere, then they started asking for heavy tax. Heavy duty means heavy tax. Too much tax. And if there is a too much tax, then cost of product will get increased and nobody will purchase it. So actually British people definitely handicapped our system, this particular economic system, whatever this ancient system was there. British people handicapped it, and they started promoting their product, and they brought their low priced product at the beginning. Right, and that's why this particular entrepreneurship starts declined. This is the one thing. So we should not blame, right? This happens. So some certain things we have to accept. आपल्याकडे होतं पण ते नाही आता. So there is certain that one reason I have told. There may be so many reasons. So try to understand, before independence, our good entrepreneurship was there, but British people handicapped it. आपल्याकडे चहा वगैरे नव्हता, नाही का? ब्रिटिशांनी आणला. So like that, so taste and all these, and people started accepting. And in India, most of the people are common, right? We are a developing country from last few years, most many years. So I want to tell one thing, like there is some problem. I have told one reason. There may be the multiple reasons. That's why this particular entrepreneurship starts decline. This was the before independence. Now after independence, that second part I want to tell. After independence, around 1948, Indian government come forward with first industrial policy. Earlier, there were no any kind of policy. After, and they took 1 year to make such policies, even though after independence. After 1940, around 1948, they prepared first industrial policy. What kind of policy? Maybe taxation benefits, promoting small scale entrepreneur, like that. So government gave more emphasis on small scale industries by providing various incentives and concessions. What was the first thing in that policy? 1948 policy. They started giving emphasis on small scale industry, means small entrepreneur. जे कलाकुसरीची कामं करत होते त्यांच्यावर त्यांनी पहिल्या पॉलिसीमध्ये एम्फोसिस केला, भर दिला. And they started giving them some incentives, some concession. Which kind of incentive? Maybe taxation benefits and all this. Some concession in that tax, maybe land allotment, like that facilities they started preparing. Also, government has prepared many supporting agencies for small scale in need. For example, you know, a very well known organization to support farm related entrepreneur, NABARD, right? आपल्याला तेवढी माहिती आहे. But there are more than that. In fourth unit, we are going to discuss various supporting agencies. But let me tell one name only, NABARD. Okay, well, especially for farm related business, this particular organization is helping, maybe in terms of money and support, various supports. So government started establishing such a various agencies after independence and started supporting such a small scale units. Then in this period, many entrepreneurs grown from small scale to medium scale. How they grown? Because they got the concession. Just a minute. Huh? Okay, so I was talking about how people grown from small to medium, because government started giving various supports in the terms of incentives, concessions, and with the help of various supporting agencies, they started supporting various entrepreneur. And during that period, small scale entrepreneur become medium scale entrepreneur, and medium scale entrepreneur become large scale entrepreneur. Okay, so this was the growth, means we are moving towards the development. Okay, and with these inventions, with the inventions of computer and IT around 1970, right? So software industries also grown rapidly in India, along with manufacturing industry, and more than manufacturing industry. So IT era is also grown, and they're also kind of entrepreneur. So this small story I have told means I want to divide before independence how we were there, and after independence now what is the situation. So this is a small story, you will say, I will say, like this is a small story of history of entrepreneurship. असं पूर्वीपासून आतापर्यंत आपण आलेलं आहे. And still government is preparing various policies. In fourth unit we are going to discuss. Still there are various policies after 1948, maybe around 1956, then 1972. Like that, government started making revision in various policies. And now Make in Maharashtra, Make in India, recent policies we know. Like that, various policies are there, and government is giving more emphasis on small scale industry, and they are trying to support various small scale entrepreneurs. Obviously, they are also supporting various large scale entrepreneurs also, but not necessary. Do you think like large scale industries need some support of government? But we see in various newspaper like so and so large scale entrepreneur got concession of 1 crore, 2 crore, and our small scale entrepreneurs are struggling to pay the loan of monthly installment of loan like that. So this is the problem. But we have to grab the opportunities and we have to take certain policies which government has. Okay, so this is about a small story, history of this entrepreneurship. Anybody want to add anything in this particular history, because it is a very vast issue that way history means, right? But I tried to summarize because it is a 7-mark question in examination, so we have to divide this particular bit into 2 parts: before independence, after independence. Okay, and you have to try to elaborate some pointers. Anybody want to add something in this particular history? Think for 1 minute and you can add some points, maybe in chat box also, or you can unmute also, and you can tell me. Or any doubt, anything you want to add? If there is no any point, then let us proceed for next bit. In ISC, such questions are important. While write up, you have to take care whatever pointers I have told. So notes of this particular points, handwritten notes are available at the end of this chapter. I will share with you. Already it is there in this study material sheet. Okay. Should we proceed? At least yes, say yes, no, something. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Vishali. Okay. Let us proceed. Now, next bit, very important bit as far as most of the students are concerned. That you will say why, as per student is concerned, everything is for student only, right? But especially those who want to become entrepreneur, but those who are not having money, for them, you can consider this as one of the options: corporate entrepreneurship, or corporate entrepreneur, or intrapreneurship, or intrapreneur. Okay. So, what is the meaning of this particular concept? Friend, this particular corporate entrepreneurship, its definition is like that: process that goes inside an existing firm that may leads to development of new product, service, or processes. Now, which process is going inside the firm? Development of various product with the help of innovative skills. That process, new product, maybe service or process, आहे त्या कंपनीमध्ये चालू आहे. Now let me still simplify this. Actually, in corporate, many employees create something innovative within the context of their job. What is the meaning of this sentence? म्हणजे तुम्ही जॉब करत आहात, you are working with any of the organization, and what you do there, you create something obviously innovative. You create some product, you create some processes, services, and you serve to customer, right? So that innovative thing you are doing as the part of job. Every employee is doing that kind of job in every organization. Now most of the people don't have money, that's why what they do, they join nice organization and start using their innovative skill. XYZ student will say, sir, I have very nice skills, I have very nice ideas, but I need 2-3 crore rupees investment. What to do? So corporate entrepreneurship is good option for you. What you have to do? You have to join existing firm and you have to create something new there. And it may be as a part of your job. Okay. So you should not behave like something extraordinary there. You have to work in maybe in R&D department, maybe in production department, any department, design department. And what you have to do? You have to create something innovative as a part of job. मग तुम्ही म्हणाल याचा फायदा काय? It will be noted by the organization, so and so person is very innovative, so and so person is having so many skills, and he can develop the various products, he can develop various services, he can develop various processes, and due to him we will get crores of rupees. आणि आपण ऐकतो somebody is getting 10 lakh रुपये 10 crore package, 4 crores package, right? 40 crore package, 40 lakh package, right? So this terms we are listening. Why this is so? Because that particular owner knows this person is innovative. He can do something innovative and will get something new. म्हणजे तुझे these people are treating you like as an entrepreneur. Even though you are recruited as an employee, they treat you like you are the entrepreneur. Getting? So याचा फायदा काय अजून? For commercial success, you should not take participation. Commercial success means if you want to sell this particular product in the market, then you should not be a part of marketing person. Your individual participation is not required. Why this is so? Because they already have marketing muscles, they have marketing mechanism, they will take care of it. What is your role here? You have to develop something new, you have to create something new, right? So for commercial success, you should not take participation. And in most of the corporate, every employee is given a chance for this innovation. You should not say like, sir, ज्यांच्याकडे innovative skill आहे त्यांनीच जायचं का तिथं? No, everybody will be given the chance. Every organization gives chance to do something new. Promotion कसे होतात? On that basis only. If you are contributing to organization in terms of innovations and some benefit to that particular organization, definitely you will be promoted. Getting? So for such an intrapreneur, not entrepreneur. So what is the word, actual word? Intrapreneur. Entrepreneur नाही म्हणायचं, intrapreneur, because he is an inside existing firm. That's why they have given the name intrapreneur. So for intrapreneur, there is no any risk of, no any assumption of risk, no any assumption of profit, or no any assumption of loss. Entrepreneur should not worry about it. पण स्वतःची ऑर्गनायझेशन असेल तर you should be responsible for that, whatever profit, whatever loss, whatever risk is there, you will be responsible. But here, as a well-known organization, you have to behave like employee only, but they will treat you like a intrapreneur. And what is your most important point for you? Safe point. There is no any risk. Failure to failure. Let it be loss and let it be profit. म्हणजे हा फायदा आहे. मग एखाद्या तुमच्यापैकी कोणाकडे जर असं स्किल असेल, if you are having such a skill with you, then definitely you should join well-known organization where this thing will be considered. And you will get freedom to do research. You will get freedom to do something innovative. Because there is no any risk. There is no profit loss kind of thing. You have to behave like a employee of that particular organization. हा खूप महत्वाचा पॉइंट आहे. And if there is a freedom and all this, so in free mind you can give your full dedication to your this research. Just a minute. Okay, just a minute. There was one call. So can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I was talking about this intrapreneur. Now there is no risk, so you will be free-minded person and you will give full dedication, because organization is treating you like a intrapreneur, and they will give all required facilities. For R&D, you need this machinery, you need this much manpower, you need this much money. They will start giving everything to you, right? So due to such a enormous resources of R&D and marketing muscle, larger firm lead and create remarkable new products. because they have everything. They have research laboratories, they have research facilities, they have research fellows, and they create something new. So most of the, like, take the example of Google. Google have thousands of products. They develop thousands of products every year. Why this is so? Because they have such a facility, and they do marketing also within very less time. How? Because they have everything. They have marketing muscles. They have marketing mechanism. As a potential entrepreneur, can you do this research, this much innovative? Can you spend 2 crore for research? Can you spend 1 crore for the marketing at the beginning? Not possible, right? For common person, student like you, for potential entrepreneur like you, it is not possible. Even though you have very nice skills, not possible. But if you become an entrepreneur, this may be the possible. आता मग who is getting more benefited? Organization where you are getting employer or you. Definitely lion's share goes to corporate only, to that organization only. Google is developing so many products. They give package like 40 lakh, 50 lakh, 1 crore to their employees. But they get the work done from them, at least one product. They do marketing and they earn crores of rupees from that. But who is getting more benefited here? Obviously, lion's shares goes to that corporate firm only, that organizations only. So this is, you can say, like limitation. Most of the benefit goes to that organization, because it is not wrong also, because organization already invested on research and development. पण असे एंटरप्रेन्युअर खूप दिवस इथे राहत नाहीत. Why? Because already they have money, they have skills, and they leave the existing organization and start their new. Corporate entrepreneur जास्त दिवस काम करत नाहीत. So let me tell one example. Do you know these two people which you are observing on screen? Can somebody tell me what is the name of these two friends? Anybody is knowing? Two people enjoying tea on this picture. Who are those? They are entrepreneur. Okay. At the beginning, let me tell at least one thing. They are entrepreneur. Who are those fellow? Put in chat box. Let me see how many of you know these two fellows. Just take 1 minute. Think. Nobody know? Friend, at least from name behind them, at least you guess. Forget about this Google and Facebook. I am asking about these two fellows. Put in chat box. Should I ask you to put the roll number in chat box? Put your roll numbers in chat box. At the end of lecture, I will take screenshot and then we'll stop. Lecture. अर्धा तास. Okay, at the end of lecture, I will take screenshot and then maybe both numbers I will verify, and then attendance will be marked. Okay, so I think nobody is knowing regarding this. So friend, let me tell these two friends' name. These are the owners, those who established Flipkart. Name of these two fellows are Sachin Bansal and Binny Bansal. Even though surname is same, they are not a brother. Okay, somebody mentioned. I am happy. Oh, it's really good. At least one person responded. So I want, these are the two fellows, they are entrepreneur. Basically, they worked with Amazon at the beginning, for your information. They They were also invested their knowledge, skill, everything there. After working there, they left that particular organization and they started Flipkart. So most of the share somebody sell. So only one person is running that. So this is not a part of our thing. But I want to tell these two fellows are entrepreneur. And their organization, whatever the process done to establish that Flipkart, this is a entrepreneurship. Getting Google is also doing same thing. They are recruiting very high skilled people, experienced people, and getting product developed from them, and they develop product. Facebook also same thing. Facebook is also doing right. So for various application, various product in Facebook, we see various new products every time in Facebook. Who develop it? Entrepreneur, and they live and they start various organizations similar to that. Getting so this is one of the example that I have to tell. Then what are the advantages of this particular entrepreneurship and what is the limitation? So there are so many advantages and limitations also. First advantage is there availability of resources. Whatever research you want to do, whatever innovative product you want to do, you will be having ready resources. What kind of resources? Maybe machine, maybe material, maybe man, money, right? So all resources are available if you want to become an entrepreneur. This is the one benefit. Basic setup. Sometimes for basic setup also you need to pay more. But that basic setup, once you join that organization, readily you have that particular setup ready with you. Even the brand recognition. If you are working with Google, then your product will be accepted by market. Getting your product immediately will be accepted. People demand branded things in market. Those who are having money, and everybody expect. Even though those who are not having money, they also expect the branded product. But if branded organization will develop the product, then your product will be accepted immediately. Just a minute. Then next advantage is that sales force. So in previous explanation, we have seen like sales force means marketing muscle. It's one of a very important part of any of the business for marketing. Marketing, if you develop product and if you are not having marketing muscle, somebody may copy also before you. But if you have marketing muscle, immediately today you have developed, tomorrow you can start marketing through your channels, whatever channels are there, maybe showrooms and all these. Getting? So these are the advantages of corporate entrepreneurship, and especially for you people, those who are having potential to develop most of the nice products. What is the limitation of this entrepreneurship? First limitation is there, communicating the idea. बऱ्याच वेळा असं होतं, खूप बेनिफिट आहे ह्या आयडियापासून, बॉसला सांगितलं तर तो कॉपी करेल, बॉस मे कॉपी. Then what to do? People hesitate to communicate the idea. Most of the people are, even though they have skill, they are not able to communicate the idea to higher authority. And sometimes they are afraid also, if I will disclose my idea, if my boss will take credit, then there also problem. So this is one of the limitation, and most of the time job security. Job security is very less. Why? Most of the time boss extract idea from you, and due to some reason he may fire you, and as it is copy your idea, he may copy and he can proceed, maybe in unethical ways. This happens in corporate. Unethical, most of the unethical people follow such a ways. So job security is one of the problem. In another way, if you fail, then you have innovative idea. Suppose you have spent 2 crore rupees to develop that particular product, and that product is not acceptable by market, not acceptable by customer. Then who is having trouble? Obviously organization. And if organization is having loss due to you, then also they may fire you. So in two sense, there is a job security problem. Getting? So this is about corporate entrepreneurship. I have told in the discussion of the beginning of this particular bit that this point is important for you. Most of the people don't have money. You join the organization, develop at least one product, learn everything from there, quit the organization with ample money, and establish your own. It's nice way, and it is not unethical. After a certain time, you can leave any of the organization. Most of the people say तुम्ही तिथून आयडिया चोरून घेऊन येता आणि परत दुसरी चालू करता. It looks like unethical. No, it is not unethical, because your skills are there. You invested your skills. You invested your time. Obviously, you got some returns on it. You have freedom to quit, right? Every person is having freedom, right? So there is no unethical thing in that. So this is one of the options you can say, friend, available for you. If you want to start your own firm, this is one of the option available for you. This is the best option. Getting? So this is explanation for this particular bit. There is a short note asked in examination always for 4 marks. So you have to elaborate this concept, then its advantage, and then limitation. So these 3 things you have to explain for 4 marks for short note. Question will be like that. Write a short note on corporate entrepreneurship, or write a short note on intrapreneurship. You may give examples also. You can have description point wise, and then advantage and limitation. Yes, have you understood? How many people think like I can become an entrepreneur? Put in chat box like yes, no, something like that. Who is interested to become an entrepreneur? Put your you can raise your hand or something. You put yes. Nobody? Respond something. Actually, responding in chat box, it's very easy. Any problem? Can you respond at least in chat box? Should we proceed? Should we proceed? Am I audible to you? Okay, I am audible. Akshay, thank you. I hope there is no any doubt. So let us proceed to last bit, that is a social entrepreneur or a social entrepreneurship. Okay. And after discussion on it, if any doubt is there, we will discuss. Otherwise, we will stop. So let me explain this particular bit. Social entrepreneur. This is also one of the option available for you. You can become a social entrepreneur. So now, what is the concept? Let us discuss first, and then if doubt is there, we'll discuss. Friend, person who pursue an innovative ideas with the potential to solve the community problem. म्हणजे काय? Person who will solve particular community problem. Person who solve the community problem, but how? With the help of innovative ideas. Then you will say, friend, this earlier entrepreneur is also, every entrepreneur is solving the problem of society. Everybody is having innovation. Then what is the difference between this other entrepreneur and this social entrepreneur? Particularly, this person is solving the problem of particular community. Particular community. For example, take any example of NGO. NGOs is the best example. Here person is not looking for the creation of employment. क्रिएशन ऑफ बेनिफिट, प्रॉफिट, इकडे तो उद्देश नाही आहे. व्हॉट इज द बेसिक मोटो ऑफ दिस पर्टिक्युलर एंटरप्रेनर? टू सॉल्व द पर्टिक्युलर कम्युनिटी प्रॉब्लेम. अँड काय पाहिजे? विथ द हेल्प ऑफ इनोव्हेटिव्ह वे. इथं प्रॉफिट कमवण्याचा उद्देश नाहीये. हिअर दे आर नॉट लुकिंग फॉर प्रॉफिट, दे आर नॉट लुकिंग फॉर एनी ऑफ द एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन, but they are interested in the solving the problem of community, obviously with the help of innovative way. Getting? So these individuals, these entrepreneurs are willing to take a risk and efforts to create the positive changes in society through their initiatives. They want to solve the problem of specific community and they want to bring the some positive change in particular society. मग तुम्ही म्हणाल हे समाजसेवक वगैरे आहेत का? सोशल वर्कर अँड सोशल एंटरप्रेनर सारखं दिसायला लागले? नो. सोशल वर्कर they are not having, they are not using any innovative thing. Here condition is that innovative way that person should follow. They should solve the community problem and they should create the something positive change in the society. आणि इथं earning the profit is not a basic motto. Profit earning is not the motto, but still they are financially savvy. Financially savvy means what? They are planning to save some money. सोशल वर्कर तसं काही करत नाहीत, पैसे घ्या समाजाकडून आणि थोडेसे ठेवा खिशामध्ये. राईट? सो आय होप यू गॉट द क्लिअर आयडिया ऑफ सोशल एंटरप्रेनर अँड सोशल वर्कर. So still they are financially savvy. They collect the donations, they put in bank, right? They make investment in bank, and they try to use that money for particular cause. एखाद्या सपोज एखादा एक्झाम्पल की अपंग व्यक्तींसाठी एखादा काम करतोय व्यक्ती, अनाथ मुलांसाठी कोणतरी काम करतोय. सो ही नीड मनी, बट creating the employment, solving the nation's problem, right? His intention is to solve the particular community problem, particular community. कोण अपंगाचा असेल, कोण एड्स बाधित मुलांचा असेल, नाही का, त्या मुलांसाठी मदत करत असेल. पालवीसारखं एक्झाम्पल आहे आपल्याकडे. सो सच ए पीपल, दे आर कॉल्ड ॲज ए कॉर्पोरेट एंटरप्रेनर, सॉरी सोशल एंटरप्रेनर. इवन यू कॅन से लाईक मायक्रो फायनान्स इन्स्टिट्यूशन्स. मायक्रो फायनान्स ऑर्गनायझेशन माहिती आहेत? बँकेसारखेच असतात बघा. Microfinance, they particularly work in this undeveloped area like rural areas and all these. Microfinance organizations are there. What they do? They collect money and those who need money, they distribute money to them. They have very less interest on it. So microfinance institution is one of the example. Even educational organizations also. They are so no loss, no profit. Here giving education is the main target, right? तुम्ही जिथं शिकला हायस्कूलला वगैरे, earning profit is not a motto. Giving education to student, right, from rural area and all this, whatever motto they have. So educational program is also comes under the social entrepreneurship. Also helping children orphaned by the epidemic disease, those who are having some disease. I have told example of Palvi and all these. So NGO also comes under that. So this concept is called as a social entrepreneur. ज्याला समाज सेवा करायची आहे, particularly for particular community, they can become social entrepreneur. So this is one of the example. Sharad Sagar, do you know this person? Sharad Vivek Sagar, a person from Bihar. At the age of 16, he has established this organization, Dexterity Global. Do you know, very well known person at the age of 16, right? Maybe आपल्यापेक्षा किती लहान होता तो बघा. तो 10वीत असताना, आपण 10वीत असताना काय केलं तुम्ही बघा. So person and maybe this age is in 1990 or something 28. आत्ताच 29-30 वय झालं असेल. Getting? So what is his mission? His mission is to connect the children from remotest area with best opportunities. What is his basic motto? खेडेगावातल्या मुलांना गोळा करायचं. And what kind of opportunity he is giving? He is making him a speakers, public speakers, giving training to them. He is thinking like children from the rural area, especially in Asia. He is working particularly in Asia. for child, especially for he is working for child, and he is giving training opportunity. He is giving training to them. And when he started at the age of 16. And what kind of opportunities, to how many people till today he has given opportunity? 1.2 million students till today, maybe at the age of 28, maybe within 12 years, he has given 1.2 million students. He has trained. He has given training to them. He has made them speaker. He has developed their personality. And he is one of the 100 young entrepreneur in the world. जगातल्या एंटरप्रेनर पैकी हा 100व्या मध्ये येतो. ही इज अ यंग एंटरप्रेनर. Now he is working as a CEO of this particular Dexterity Global. He is a founder and CEO also. Sharad Sagar. Can you believe, Miss? I am not telling here turnover and all this, because here is no intention to earn the money. Obviously, he has manpower also, huge manpower. He has created employment also by default, but intention is not there. That he has to collect the people and he has to train them. Now, have you got the idea who is a social worker and who is a social entrepreneur? Any doubt in this particular 2 points? Because both are having same cause, okay, but there is a particular difference that I have told you. Anything anybody want to ask related to this point? Social entrepreneurship. This is also one option you have. Actually, in our society, there are so many problems. Our society is suffering from so many problems. So many communities are having their own problem. Can you take one problem and can you try to solve it? I don't think like he is dedicating his whole life for that only. Yes, actually he is also having family. He is also having basic needs. So he can take some part of money from that. It is not unethical. He can take some part of money, right? Because he has to travel. He is also having family. He has to some money for his health and all this. So he can take some money. But here, intention is not to earn the money. And if intention is like that, then that person cannot be a social entrepreneur. Got the clear idea? Can somebody put one problem of society in the chat box? I will say that person may have a chance to become a social entrepreneur. Put one problem in chat box of our society, of particular community. Don't mention the name of any of the community. In chat box, just you have to put the name, sir, so and so problem. Take 1 minute. So I will take attendance screenshot time being. You think and put one social problem in chat box. Think one problem, and simultaneously I am requesting Atharva Kulkarni, Koli Akash and Vaibhav Jagtap. You please put your roll number next time correctly. So your name is third year, CYB. So you are in last year, right? Your division.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, anybody is interested to put social, any social problem? And it may be your idea to develop the society. Okay, so any doubt is there of particular this 3 bit I have discussed with you people? history of entrepreneurship, corporate entrepreneurship, and social entrepreneurship. Anybody want to ask anything related to these 3 points? If no, already I have taken the attendance. You have mentioned your roll number in chat box. If no any doubt, you people can leave. Thank you very much.